8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news, edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Indrani Senanaika. The headlines. The President says the challenges faced by the business community in the Northern Province will be addressed within the next 2 months. The President engaged in a meeting with the academic staff of the Jaffna University at the Jaffna District Secretariat today. Minister of Power says that recruitment to the CEB should not be conducted. The Navy recovers Kerala cannabis worth over 21 million rupees. A facial recognition system installed at the BIA to identify criminal suspects. In foreign news, arson attacks reported in Bangladesh the day before the election. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has announced that comprehensive solutions would be offered to address the challenges encountered by businessmen in the Northern Province within the next 2 months. He highlighted that officials from relevant ministries will visit the Northern Province within the next 2 weeks to assess the situation, with plans to establish a dynamic agency dedicated to resolving issues faced by the business community in the province. President Wickremesinghe made these remarks during a discussion held today at the Jaffna District Secretariat, engaging with industrialists, fishermen and farmers of the Jaffna district. Approximately 300 representatives from the industrial, fishing and farming sectors in the Northern Province are actively engaged in this event, wherein they presented their challenges and proposed new ideas related to their respective industries to President Ranil Wickremesinghe. President Wickremesinghe, attentively addressing the concerns raised, promptly initiated actions to provide solutions to certain issues. Notably, the industrialists have appealed to the President for the establishment of an industrial zone in the Northern Province. In response, the President has directed officials to explore suitable land areas for this purpose. Additionally, President Ranil Wickremesinghe has directed officials to expedite the establishment of a provincial business promotion centre in the Northern Province. Simultaneously, President Ranil Wickremesinghe engaged in a meeting with the academic staff of the Jaffna University at the Jaffna District Secretariat today. Jaffna University Vice-Chancellor Professor S. Srisath Kunaraja also, along with the academic staff, including senior lecturers of the university, was in attendance. During the meeting, a comprehensive development plan outlining transformative changes for the Jaffna University was presented to President Ranil Wickremesinghe. President Wickremesinghe proposed a comprehensive redesign of the university system, particularly emphasizing technological advancements. He urged the implementation of a diverse approach to ensure English proficiency among all university students, advocating for the use of distance learning methods. Minister Kanchana Wijesekara says that it has been revealed that interviews have been conducted to recruit officials to the CEB of the children of employees when there has been a suspension of recruitment of workers to the CEB. This should be stalled immediately. He has written a letter to the chairman of the CEB to provide such information to him with immediate effect. Minister Wijesekara has informed the CEB to prevent recruitment of workers to the CEB at the backdrop of restructuring the CEB. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, and we continue with local news. An automated facial recognition system has been installed at the Bandaranaike International Airport in Katunayake to identify persons potentially involved in criminal activities. The relevant measures were taken under the guidance of Public Security Minister Tiran Alas and the Acting Inspector General of Police Deshabandhu Tennakone in a bid to identify any departing or arriving persons who may be involved in any illegal activities. A stock of Kerala cannabis weighing over 53 kilograms was recovered by the Sri Lanka Navy during an operation at Vettalai Kearney. The stock of cannabis was found in 15 suspicious packages left at the coastal vicinity, the Sri Lankan Navy reported. Accordingly, the seized cannabis, estimated to have a street value of 21 million rupees, is currently in naval custody, awaiting further legal action by the authorities. Ambassador of Thailand to Sri Lanka and permanent representative to UNESCAP C.A. Chaminda I. Colonne paid a courtesy call on the Minister of Tourism and Sport at the Ministry of Tourism and Sport of Thailand on the 19th of December 2023. The minister warmly welcomed Ambassador Chaminda Colonne and the ambassador congratulated the newly appointed minister. The minister assured her fullest support and cooperation for strengthening Thai-Sri Lanka relations in the field of tourism, especially to enhance Buddhist religious tourism and two-way tourism exchanges. The ambassador also requested the Minister of Tourism and Sport of Thailand to encourage Thai investors to invest in the hospitality and tourism sectors in Sri Lanka. That ends the local segment of news.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala.
On to the main news story. President Ranil Wickremesinghe underscored the significance of religious harmony for economic development. He expressed his intention to expedite the development program aimed at restoring the revenues lost during the war in the north back to the region, highlighting the substantial role that religious leaders can play. President Wickremesinghe made these remarks during a meeting with all religious leaders of the northern province at the Jaffna District Secretariat this morning. The President has outlined plans to address challenges faced by temples and churches within the northern province under the purview of the security forces. Concrete steps will be taken to restore these religious sites during this period.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala.
This is Watchlight.
The Health Ministry today commenced the measles, mumps, rubella supplementary immunization activity across all immunization clinic centres in 9 high-risk health districts. The targeted areas include Colombo, including the CMC area, Gampaha, Kalutara, Galle, Matara, Kandy, Jaffna, Kurunegala and Kalmunai. Running from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., this vaccination program, led by the Epidemiology Unit, focuses on children born between the 7th of April and the 5th of July 2023.
Coming up, World News.
First, the headlines. Arson attacks reported in Bangladesh the day before the election. 22 killed in Israeli attacks in Khan Younis. Japan earthquake death toll crosses 100. There are reports of a spate of arson attacks in Bangladesh the day before the country goes to the polls. A Buddhist temple has been torched and goods trucks attacked on a national highway after a commuter train was allegedly set on fire yesterday. The fire service says that there has been at least 14 arson incidents in a matter of hours, local media reported. Most opposition parties are boycotting the election in which Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is set to win a 4th straight term. At least 22 Palestinians killed after Israeli attacks targeted a house in Khan Younis overnight. Israeli forces raiding locations across the occupied West Bank and occupied East Jerusalem with reports of fierce Palestinian resistance. UN humanitarian chief says Gaza has become a place of death and despair for Palestinians. Lebanon filed official complaints to the UN Security Council saying that Israel fired 6 missiles in the attack that killed Hamas deputy leader Saleh al-Awri in a Beirut suburb. At least 22,722 people killed and 58,166 wounded in Israeli attacks on Gaza since the 7th October last year. The death toll from Japan's New Year's Day earthquake has now exceeded 100 as rescuers and residents have been sifting through the rubble to recover bodies. Hopes have dimmed to find survivors following the country's deadliest earthquake in nearly 8 years. But the authorities said today that more than 200 people are still missing. The magnitude 7.6 earthquake that struck Japan's west coast destroyed infrastructure, leaving 23,000 homes without power in the Hokkaido region. 16 further deaths were confirmed in the Wajima city and Anamizu town by today, bringing the total to 110. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Arson attacks reported in Bangladesh the day before the election. 22 killed in Israeli attacks in Khan Younis. Japan earthquake death toll crosses 100. That ends this bulletin of world news. We now take a look at development news. A project to develop sweets has been initiated by the Palmyra Development Board in Hambantota. The products, including Palmyra jaggery, will be sold to local and foreign tourists. That was development news.
Moving on with sports news.
The Sri Lanka cricket team scored 273 runs for 9 wickets in the allotted 50 overs at the match played against Zimbabwe at the R. Premadasa Stadium today. In reply, the Zimbabwe team had scored 12 runs for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of the 4th over. That was sports news.
Go ekakiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න as වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
According to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka has recorded a 57.5% increase in workers' remittances in 2023 compared to the preceding year. A total of $5,969.6 million has been recorded as a cumulative figure of foreign workers' remittances for the year 2023. That was business news.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekakiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න as වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
The Sri Lanka automobile sector is making great strides, and over 108 types of locally assembled cars, including luxury vehicles, trucks, military vehicles and three-wheelers, and also motorcycles, are already plying on the Sri Lankan roads. In addition, the automobile component manufacturing industry too is gaining momentum and becoming a formidable forex earner as well, said Secretary, Ministry of Industries Tilaka Jayasundara. That was economic news.
Weather report.
And finally, we take a look at the weather report. Showery weather conditions are expected to enhance over the northern, north-central, eastern and the over provinces from tomorrow. Showers will occur at times in the eastern province. Several spells of showers will occur in the northern, north-central and the over provinces. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in other areas of the island after 1 p.m. Fairly heavy showers of about 75 millimeters are likely at some places in the western and Sabaragama provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western, Sabaragama and central provinces during the morning hours. To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. The President says the challenges faced by the business community in the northern province will be addressed within the next 2 months. The President engaged in a meeting with the academic staff of the Jaffna University at the Jaffna District Secretariat today. The Minister of Power says that recruitment to the CEB should not be conducted. The Navy recovers Kerala cannabis worth over 21 million rupees. A facial recognition system installed at the BIA to identify criminal suspects. In foreign news, Arson attacks reported in Bangladesh the day before the election. That ends tonight's news broadcast. The time reads exactly 9 o'clock. This is Radio Sri Lanka.